Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Thanks so much for joining me today. I am working on a fun project today, again, that I've never done before. I've seen different variations of this around, but I have one of my wine bottles here. This one actually happens to be empty, and a round styrofoam ball. So what I want to try and do is, I also have a bunch of floral stems here. What I want to do is make this into a great presentation of someone that you may be gifting a bottle of wine to. Whether that be a hostess or for a gift, for a client, for whatever. But how cool would it be to have a floral top on this, just to give it that extra something, something. So again, I've never done this, but we're going to see how this works. So again, this is your average styrofoam ball. I am going to put this on here and sort of just make an indentation, press it on there, and I'm going to cut out. I don't know what the best thing to cut out is going to be. I'm going to try it with this razor knife that I have, just to go around where I made that indentation and make a circle. I want to make it deep enough that it sits on there perfectly, but yet I don't want to glue it on, because you will obviously be gifting an unopened bottle of wine that you're going to want them to be able to open. So I went around this in a circle, and I'm just going to pick out some of this styrofoam to make it deep enough. You know, when you start cutting styrofoam and all those little bally things come out, it makes a mess. But I'm sort of just digging this out with my nail. It comes out very easily. But like I said, I want to make it deep enough that it is going to stay on the bottle. These would be great for centerpieces as well. If you're having a party, and you could do this on any kind of bottle. It doesn't have to be wine. There, that sits on there, just to show you how I dug out that bottle of wine. I do have the styrofoam on my hands here. There's nothing I do that doesn't make a mess somehow. So to work on this, I'm going to sort of keep it on here so I have something to work on. And I have these floral stems here. Let's see, which ones I'm going to start with these. You could use any kind of florals for these, any color. Again, this would be great for an event if you wanted to use these as centerpieces or any kind of event or party decor. And it doesn't have to be on a bottle of wine. It could be an empty bottle or a clear bottle that you fill with water, and you can add food coloring to it to make it the color of your choice. But my first thought in doing this was gifting somebody a bottle of wine. My husband and I love to drink wine. So I thought, what a great thing. And I'm just going to start filling this up, because the idea is to have a sphere of flowers that there's really no space around. And just keep putting them in. I cut these. You don't really need to have the stems long. You actually want them kind of short to be able to stick in there. But I am putting glue on these so that they will stay in. And look at that. That's just two heads right there. I'm going to keep turning this as I go around. And I do have different flowers here. Maybe I should add some of these others too. I'm going to mix it up. They're all in the same colorway in that this will be a neutral cream color. I'm also, of course, going to add a bow to it. No project of mine is complete without pretty ribbons and some sort of bow on it. That's just my thing. You know what? I'm going to add some of these too. It's sort of white and cream color. I have no idea how many flowers this will take, but I have 3 in here already, and you can see that that's really taken up some space. So let me start adding these because I have no idea how many it's going to take. And I'm just going to keep adding them. And I think before I add many flowers, I'm going to get my bow in as well. So I know that I have to go around the bow with florals. So let me look at the front of the bottle. I'm gonna, again, my husband and I are wine drinkers. We have all kinds of wine at home. We belong to wineries. But I love looking at the different wine labels. I mean, this is an art in itself. So sometimes if you're not a wine drinker and you don't know what kind of wine to get, I love looking at the labels and getting a great label. I have this neutral ribbon here, which I thought went perfectly with not only the artwork that is on the label, but the flowers as well. Just neutral. I'm going to get myself a zip tie ready. I'm also going to get myself a pick. I'm going to make myself a pick. I'm going to bend this in a U shape, and this is how I will stick my bow in. So I'm going to put this on the side, and I'm going to make, because it's tall, I'm thinking that I want some tails hanging down. So I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail, and I'm just going to do a simple loopy bow. Not large because I don't want it to overpower it. It looks good. And I think I'll do just 2 loops on each side. Let's see how that works. Turn this around. Gonna cut tail kind of long. What did I do with here's my zip tie. I have glue strings on my fingers that are getting stuck to my nails. And this is one of those clear zip ties, so you're really not going to see that in the middle of the bow. But before I tighten that all the way, I'm going to use that pick that I just made myself, put that in there, and then tighten this all the way, cut that off, and then I will put some glue on the bottom of that pick. Let me see where I want this to go. I'm going to have this go up this way. Push this all the way in. And it's pretty easy to push this into the styrofoam. All right, looks like I will have one tail coming up, one tail going down. I'm going to cut this one a little bit shorter. cut a little dovetail. And you can see I have the bow in there. Now I'm just going to keep adding these florals all the way around. See, that's why I wanted to add my bow, because now I will just continue. I know exactly where to put the florals around the bow. Whereas if I added all the florals first, I may have had a hard time getting my bow out. Put this on this side. I don't want I'm picking up the petals of the floral next to it. And again, you don't need long stems on these flowers. The shorter, the better, I think, as I'm learning. Again, I've never done this project, so I'm sort of learning as I go here. How nice would this be if you're walking into someone's home or a party to give as a gift? And again, because I have not glued this ball down to the top, it will easily slide off the top of the bottle so that when they want to open it, then they can use this little floral bowl and and place this anywhere and use it for a piece of decor. I'm not sure about this tail. We'll work on that. I'm going to finish putting all the florals in. I should have counted to see, well, I can always do that afterwards. I was going to say count to see how many florals it takes, so that when you make it again, you kind of know. These flowers are a different variety. They have little yellow centers, but I thought that they were pretty. Sometimes doing, these are a little bit longer. Let's see, I'm gonna try these. Everything's an experiment. I'm always willing to come on, even if a project doesn't work out and it's a fail. I'm willing to share that. It's all a teaching process. And then you come up with another way to, oh, I have glue dripping. Another way of trying to make it happen. See how pretty it's coming? I love it. This is a completely different flower. I have that stem hanging all the way out. See how it's just starting to fill up? Let me see what other florals I have here. Hold on one second, because I thought I had enough of those. See, you just never know. Now I have these. These are a little bit different, but that's okay. You can mix and match them. I'm loving this. And depending upon how large the flowers are, that sort of tells you how far you have to space them. Dripping glue here. The bigger the flower, obviously, the bigger the space between the buds would be. The smaller the flower, like if you were doing something with a bunch of buds, as opposed to large blooms. You would have to put them closer together. The goal is you don't want to see the styrofoam ball. You want this tight, so all you're seeing is florals. And you can see here. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way now so I get this side full. And just keep adding. And I think this was the perfect size. I don't even know what the size of this ball is, to be honest with you. Maybe it's a, if I had to, let me see. I have looks a 4 or 5 inch round styrofoam ball. You can pick these up anywhere. I believe even Dollar Tree has them. I have all the glue sticking to my fingers, which makes the flower stick to my hands. And you want to make sure that you have sturdy stems as well. You can't have flimsy, soft stems, because otherwise they're not going to be strong enough to stick into the styrofoam. But otherwise they go in very easily. And now see what I mean about this? I thought my idea was a long tail, but it's sort of sticking out. And I think that I prefer a shorter one and just have them stick up like that. See how pretty? All right, I only have to add a few more blooms here. Hold on, let me get some more florals over here. And I know I have somewhere. Hold on. Those are bigger ones. And again, if you added big blooms, this would cover it up very quickly. These are not big blooms. Over here. You sort of have to bend down and really see underneath so that you're not missing anything. One more over here, and I think that we should be full. Look at how simple that was. And again, imagine these as centerpieces for tables. This is a great favor idea. This could be even a wedding favor. How pretty would these look, not only on the table, but then the guest gets to take them home? If you were doing a more intimate type event where you were giving a bottle of wine, this could go on a small bottle. Could go on a large bottle. I just absolutely love this. What do you think? Look at how pretty that is. I love it. Let me know what your thoughts of this are, and if you come up with any other ideas. We love to share these creative ideas. I just simply watch out that you don't have any of you glue falling on your bottle. But on a beautiful bottle of wine, how pretty is that? In the summer, you can do this with sunflowers. This would be great in the fall, too, with all fall colored blooms. Oh, Christmas. The options are endless. I absolutely love it. I'm so glad that you joined me. I hope you enjoyed it as well. You have a great day now. Bye-bye.